Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Evolutionary Instinct Podcast, a podcast that's based around spirituality, self-development, stoicism, and all things that have to do with awakening your evolutionary instinct. And I'm here with my co-host, Felipe. Tell the audience who you are, brother.
What's up, guys? My name is Felipe, and I'm currently in online business. I do online marketing. I work with creators, help them monetize their audience. Um, and of course, now I'm in Evolutionary Instinct, trying to help you guys become the best versions of yourself.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Felipe. Felipe is an absolute G. Okay. I've known Felipe for some time now, and he's one of the guys that I respect more than anyone for his level of ambition, drive, intelligence, and always learning and growing, because that's how I am as well, and that's what we share in common. And we're here to talk about many subjects that will result in you getting better as an individual, you evolving as an individual, and really like let's start off with like going over our backstories. I mean, it's episode one. I'm super fascinated about your story, Felipe, and I'm more than happy to share mine afterwards. But let's talk about that, and then let's get into this, because off camera we were having conversations about breakthroughs and achieving these moments in life. And I just want to hear, I would love to hear more on that. So go ahead, bro.
So you talk a little more about my backstory, how I made a big breakthrough.
Exactly. Yep.
All right, so where do I start? So I feel like nowadays, and I as much as I want to make this about me, I want to make this about everyone else watching, so they can relate. That's the way I like to do this. So personally, I've seen it and do just with myself and many other people and my friends. Like you get, especially now in social media, where it seems like it's easier than ever to make money. As easy as it is, it's also very hard. Is weirdly hard, and you just can't seem to know why. Like I remember myself looking, like trying so many different things, and I'm just like, why? Like why am I not figuring out like this? Like you feel like there's like some sort of secrets that no one's sharing with you to make this like breakthrough to finally see success. And you struggle, and you're like, do I have to pay a bunch of mentors and courses? But then you do, and then it's like you're not satisfied with what you're finding, and it's like you're not seeing the value or the solution right in front of you, and it is right in front of you, but for some reason you just have like these different filters on, and you're just blinded by it, and you start looking for it and going this long journey, like like the hobbits, like they go on like this long journey. That's how I felt like I went on this long journey to find some sort of secret,
Yeah.
and then I found out there's no secret at all. And then I could, if I just started and put in actual the work, and held myself accountable and did the things that I knew I had to do, because deep inside we kind of already know like what we need to do. But for some reason, we've been trained, maybe from school, maybe from who knows what. We've been trained to like someone needs to like foot speed it, like tell us exactly what to do, or else we're lost. Instead of just actually trying and experimenting, kind of like a mad scientist. It's like we're scared to do that. And with so much dopamine, I think a lot of has to do, I think, with like how we're addicted to dopamine and how things are so easy and accessible,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so we're so used, our brain is so trained to just like whenever you do something, for example, like when you buy a course or program, your brain's thinking, oh, I'm buying this program, and immediately I'm gonna get the results, because your brain is not, you think, you don't realize that you still need to put in the work. You're not essentially buying the result. Yeah, it'll get you the results because that program or that mentor, that coach will give you the process for you to do it and will help you, but you still have to put in the work. And it's like your brain is trying to
Yeah.
like, it's trying to like avoid that work. And it's like
Yeah.
this baby. And I think
It's
a
the
lot of it,
reality. It's
yeah,
the reality of things. You have to apply yourself to actually be successful. Like the
yeah,
success can be achieved in so many different ways, and that's what we see commonly happening, right? Like, it can be through, Shopify, drop shipping, it could be through affiliate marketing, it could be through, coaching, high ticket sales, whatever. There's so many different ways of being successful. It's like pick one, find which one works for you, and apply yourself fully to that thing and become the best at that. And I find like, what you're saying reminds me a lot of like the grass is greener on the other side, the shiny object syndrome that people talk about, right? There's a lot of that you see happening, right? And we always need to apply ourselves, right? And that's what people miss. It's like, oh, if I just buy this course, everything's going to be solved. You don't just throw money at the problem. You have to put in the work yourself, right?
yeah. But it's crazy because from doing all this and like trying and like struggling, I something that really helped me, and I think it's someone really, in order to like have that breakthrough they need to do, is bring so much like self-awareness to yourself. Like every day, try to become more aware of like your actions and exactly what you're doing. Okay, you're saying you want this, but this is what you're doing. Because a lot of people like they lose so much time throughout the day, and then they feel like they didn't accomplish anything. They're kind of lazy, and it's like you have all these goals, you have them, great, but then you're not taking those actions or like really doing the steps that you need to do. And it's like, why? Like ask yourself why, like question yourself, like really try to pull yourself in a third perspective view and like watch yourself. Like, for example, one of the things that I would do, I remember, like for some reason I would avoid the work. So like whenever I needed to do something, I would hop on, let's say I would hop on my computer trying to work, and your brain, and you'll notice this. It's crazy. It's like it's not even you running yourself anymore.
Yeah.
It's like something else is running your body, your biological drives. You're being run by the addictions that you've been trained to. So like I'll be like trying to do work, and my brain immediately is like, maybe I should play one game of like, Fortnite or something. Maybe,
Yeah.
oh wait, no, maybe I need to go to the bathroom. And you don't really need to go to the bathroom, but your brain is like telling you to go to the bathroom. And then you go to the bathroom and then you get distracted with something else. Then you check your phone. Then you're like, oh, I need to do this. And I email.
Anything
And
to avoid the work. Yeah.
yes, it's like, and it's crazy. You gotta become
Yeah.
super aware of that. And it's like, you're not even yourself. You're like, what the hell? Why am I even doing all these things? It's like you're trying to do all these things in order to accomplish the one thing that you need to do.
Yeah.
It's like the path is like right here, but your brain is like, no, 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 no. You need to like take a right and then left and then go down the stairs and then go that way and then, cross the jungle and do
Yeah.
all of this side quests. When it's like, no, dude, just move forward. And it's
Yeah.
a struggle. And it's like you need to unplug from that. So something that really helps is like auditing your day, like understanding like what are you doing? Like literally everything. Like how long are you taking in the toilet? How long are you taking in the shower? Like where's your time going? And
Yeah.
figuring out how you can get your time back and really be able to just like sit down and be like aware of like your action. Like when you sit down, what's happening with you? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like becoming
Totally.
super self-aware is how you're really gonna break through. Because I struggled for a while. I didn't understand why. I was just not putting the work that I knew I needed to be put in. And so whenever I would buy a new program or I would listen to a new coach, I would get frustrated because they would tell me shit that I already heard 1,000 times because I've paid so many different programs.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what?
You're
Like,
seeing the same thing be said
yes,
to you in different ways, but it's really the same concept. But it's just
yes.
that you never applied yourself. So you keep like trying to throw
It
money at
was
the
driving me
problem,
mad, dude. I was
right?
like, oh man. So I was just like, I'm just gonna do this. I'm like, I just gotta do it. And it's like, then you gotta ask yourself this question. Truly, it's like when you're doing this, are you truly trying to like win? Because a lot of people don't understand. I don't think they want to win. They really don't. They tell themselves they do, but they don't because they're addicted to all these things that they might not
Yeah.
be aware of. So it's like, people just want to feel good? They don't want to win.
Yeah. 100%. Well, let's actually start off by letting everyone know. I mean, we just came out the gate, fucking
Yeah,
guns blasting.
little hot, little hot
They're
there.
not ready for this. Okay, the Evolutionary Instinct Podcast. They're just not ready for this. Okay, but let's talk about why the audience should give a fuck. Because both individuals that are on the call tonight, myself and Felipe, are very, very and highly well accomplished individuals. And I want to, Felipe, if you don't mind sharing your story of like, what you started, right? Whatever you want to share. But let's talk about like, again, around the theme of today, which is breakthroughs. But beyond that, just tell the audience who you are, what your skills are, what you achieved in life, and then we'll continue from there towards breakthroughs.
Man, all right. Well, how it started is really like back in high school. That's how I started, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. I mean, I'm not from this country, so when I moved here, right, like everyone wanted to, like back in high school, of course, like everyone wants to go to college and this path.
Yeah.
And you meet people,
You were born in Bogota, Colombia, right?
yeah, yeah. And I
Got
moved
it,
here
got
when I
it.
was 12, had no idea how to speak English. But for me,
Yeah.
I never viewed school as like this thing that was gonna take me to my next step in life. To me, school is just like a thing that I was doing in the
Yeah.
meantime while I was hanging out, making friends. Like I was just a social person. I just wanted to hang out and have friends. To me, like I didn't hate school
Yeah.
because school, man, I get to see my friends, I get to talk. It was just fun. Like school is just an activity to, have fun, an extension to reach other people and have fun. And then, get invited to other parties and this. I was kind of popular in high school and whatnot. But then, kind of like stopped hanging out with a lot of people because I was just like, junior year and all of that. I was really like trying to figure out like, okay, like people was like college, but I was just like, I don't even know what I want to do in college. Why are they pushing this?
I hear you.
So I think one of my skills I've always been someone who been really outgoing. Like I've always loved like things like public speaking. So like I've always been like a very good speaker and talking to people and outgoing. Like everyone, like if you were to ask anyone, they're like, yeah, he's always been a very confident person. So that's just who I've been. And something else is like I've always also questioned everything, which is very important. And so, like I said, I started trying to do online business and I struggled for a while. And eventually I did, I made a lot of money and I realized how easy it is.
Bring it back to the beginning though. No, I 100% agree with what you're saying. So like you had this, this upbringing in high school, saw like the school system to be bullshit, as any
Yeah,
intelligent individual ends up seeing, frankly. If you're not gonna be a doctor, lawyer, engineer,
right.
um, school system is a very outdated method of educating yourself. The best way I personally found as well, similar to you, Felipe, is direct mentorship, right? Actually doing the thing and finding the person who's really good at that thing and learning from that person and maybe offering your time for free, maybe, just offering as much value as you can so that you can get that direct experience with that person who's an expert at that thing. Right, like I went to university for semester two, and bro, like the fucking professor would come in like 98 Civic and talk about making money, right? It's not just about like your flashy car, but like your life, the way you're dressed. Like you're not at your peak, and you're talking about making a lot of money. Like how can I trust what you say? So I fucking similar. I want to hear your story here, but like I went directly to the person making millions of dollars to learn from them. And I find in life that's how you get good is by getting to the person who's really good and learning everything you can from them, and then making it your own. Right? Would you agree to that?
No, I totally agree. I mean, I personally, like, I wanted to do that back in high school. Like, I literally have a DM on my Instagram, like really old DM. I found it the other day. I think I might have screenshotted it, but it's literally me on, and this guy now, I think he's like multimillionaire. He's like has his own software company and stuff. But I remember it was this guy, and at the moment he was doing drop shipping. He was like a drop shipping type of guy guru, and he wasn't anything big, but he was crushing it. And he was offering mentorship, which is now that I look back at it, it was like really cheap. But for me, I'm in high school. To me, I was like, whoa, a couple $100. I was like, yo, that's a lot of money. But I remember I paid for it, and because I sent him a whole paragraph, he was like DM closing me and stuff, giving me like having me
Yeah.
qualify. I remember sending him a whole paragraph on why like I want to change people's life, I want to help my mother, all of these.
Nice.
People talk about like why they want to make more money and stuff.
Right.
Nothing new. And I remember he was like trying to teach me like how to do like ads on Shopify and stuff. And I remember the end of, on the messages, I sent him like this one ad that I made. And
Right.
I genuinely thought it was good. It was a good ad.
Right.
And now I look back at it and I was like, wow, that was bad. But then he told me that too. But at the time and I was so sad. He told me it wasn't good. And I just didn't get it. Like I got overwhelmed by like the Facebook ads. Cause of course I'm not from this country. I barely understand like how like the whole money works
Of
things.
course. Yeah.
I'm like borrowing money from my
How old
mom.
were you then? How old were you at that time?
I was like,
17, 16?
yeah, because it was like sophomore, junior. So yeah, I was like 16, 17.
Yeah, it's like grade 11, 12, right?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So at that time, you actually started Facebook ads. Meanwhile, the average motherfucker isn't doing any of that. Okay, just so you know, the average motherfucker is like playing video games and going to school, learning the bullshit they teach you in school, right? But like you have the hustle and the drive to be looking into entrepreneurship and business at like 16, 17, and you started with that. So like as a 16, 17-year-old, bro, like that was your first, go at it, So of course. So okay, go on. This is really really fascinating actually. I want to hear more.
Yeah, so I try to do that, and I just got frustrated. I just didn't understand. I'm like, what is this Facebook shit? Like, it's like I feel like it was basically, I mean, technically like pay to win. But I'm like, I don't understand these economies shit. So I'm just like broke kid. I don't think at the time I got that job. Eventually, I did get a job. But even then, I wasn't making that much money. It was like I was a dishwasher after high school. I would go and make some money, but I still didn't make that much money. So I still didn't feel like I had a lot and didn't want to invest. But I remember at my job, I would I would try to like always listen to these gurus. Like at the time, it was like a lot of people like these traveling gurus who like are in like Bali or Bora Bora with this amazing water showing you all this thing. And my head always go to like, how can I do that?
Right.
Like, why is no one like my head? I was like, why is someone questioning how you get there?
Yeah.
Like I'm not here in any path through college where I can get there, especially how young, like I'm seeing like these young guys doing this. Like
Yeah.
they're not much older, maybe 5, 4 years older than me at the moment. And I'm like, how do you even get there? So I remember like at work, I would have like headphones on, or like after school, I would literally be watching these like seminars. It's always join the seminar where we're gonna teach you how to make all the right. It's always a
Yeah.
seminar.
Yeah.
And at the end, of course, they already know they sell you, and you're like, I'm
Yeah.
excited. Like they got me hooked. That it worked.
Yeah.
I'm hooked. They tell you the story on how they did it, how they started, and it makes you believe. You're like, yes, yes, that could be me. And then at the end, they always be like, it's $1,000 or like
Yeah.
only 3K. And I'm like high schooler, broke as shit. I'm like, fuck. I'm like so frustrated, so sad. I'm like, how do I even make money? How do I even get to $1,000? To me at the time,
Yeah.
I was that's crazy a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Definitely.
eventually, though, I did invest into one program, which then again I got stuck because of the Facebook ads. It just looked way too complicated for me because all of
Right.
different money, like
Of
you
course, you're 16, 17, you're just learning about Facebook ads and you create your first ad. You're like, oh my God, it didn't work. And it's like it was overwhelming, right? You're saying,
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
right?
just imagine this. Like, I
Yeah,
have
I've
like
been there.
maybe
I've been there.
$200 in my bank account at the moment,
Yeah.
right?
Well, your
And
last hundred
right,
dollars you're
yeah,
spending on that
basic.
shit.
Like that's like I don't have
Yeah.
much in my bank account. I only make so much every week, so I'm not working like crazy hours or like getting paid a lot.
And you were
So
working as a dishwasher at that time, right? You work
yeah,
as a dishwasher, learning entrepreneurship, going to fucking high school, right? Doing all this, right?
yeah.
Nice.
So I remember one of the persons that actually convinced me to invest. Like I was like, all right, I'm going all in. It was like Alex Becker. I don't know if you know who that is.
Of course, yeah.
He's like an all OG guru, and
Yeah.
Alex Becker, I bought one of his drop shipping programs. I probably still have it. That's probably dead by now, but
Yeah.
I remember I asked my mom. I was like, dude, I was crazy. I was scared to ask her.
Yeah.
Right? 'Cause I honestly like don't think we had a lot of money. Well, she like at the time she was like married to somebody.
Right. Of
But like he's not my dad. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna ask this guy. And so I have to ask someone,
course.
mom, and my mom then has to like ask my stepdad to like maybe help her out too. And I
Yeah.
remember my mom has always been an amazing person. Like even if she
She's
doesn't have
been
the
very supportive, eh?
yeah, no, even if she doesn't have money, she somehow always like puts some credit card or like, you know, helps
Makes it
me
work for you. Yeah.
yeah, pays for things for
Respect.
me that she doesn't even have money for. And like that's why I was
Yeah.
never gonna ask her. Um,
Yeah. My mom's the same
so
way. I get it.
but like
Yeah.
like the reason I even asked her this because in my heart I was just like I was like, yes, mom, please, you give me $1,000 and I promise I will like 100x that and I will, that was my goal in my mind. I
Yeah,
was
of
like,
course.
that's why
In
I
an
took
ideal scenario, that's what would happen. Yeah.
right, right. That was like in my
Yeah.
head, I was like the game plan. I was like, whatever, it's $1,000. It's painful to ask her for this, and I know it sucks, but I'm gonna make it up to her. And then I bought it, and I was taking notes, everything, but then get to the Facebook part, and it was like, yeah, you have to invest like $100 a day on ads, and I was like, I barely even have $200, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, so I was like very like
So
I
that
was
make you stop drop shipping? Is that what stopped you from continuing that now route?
what exactly stopped me, but I was just kind of like trying to figure out like ways of like, okay, what's maybe another way I can make a little bit money or fun funds,
Right.
or maybe like I don't know, maybe there's some sort of like loophole where I don't need to invest so much money
Sure.
to build this, which
Yeah.
there wasn't anything like organically going. So
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. There's organic, but like
yeah,
it wasn't big at that
it was
time.
really just like pay to win. So I was just like,
Yeah.
shit, I kind of stopped, but like that didn't stop me from still trying to look into different things. So
Well, you
then
learned so much though from that, right?
I
Like
did.
how many like 16, 17-year-olds are fucking learning drop shipping and taking out like getting these courses and like instead of fucking buying brand new shoes, you're investing in a course. So that already like your mom definitely sees that and sees like, okay, my son wants to fucking learn and grow. So like huge props to that, right? And like respect to your mom too for supporting you and your goals. So like you started that and the journey took you towards learning drop shipping, right? That's where it took you. Where did it go after that?
So I did a little bit drop shipping. Then I was like, okay, then after that, it was not working. I was like, I was sad. But then, I kept looking into like this whole online space. I really put
Mm,
myself in there because I was like,
yeah.
I still want this. Like, how? Like, right? I didn't give up. I was like, I'm not saying like, yeah, I guess I'll go to college.
I get
No,
it.
I was like, there must be something, some way of, because I see all these young people. I'm like, there has to be something,
These
right?
motherfuckers making millions of dollars online. You see them
Right,
like living
right.
their
I'm like,
dream
there must be
lives.
some sort of secret.
How
And
the
like,
fuck can I
funny
do
though,
it? Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
funny though is like I didn't have a concept of money at the time. Really, I didn't. Like I didn't understand like how much things cost or like what would be like enough money for a living. Um,
Yeah.
because I'm living for free. I'm not even from this country. I never understood money. Generally my goal is just to have friends and have fun. So to me, like when I saw these gurus, like I didn't even care that they were making a lot of money. I just care the fact that they're like looking dope at a Bora Bora, having fun, doing all this crazy shit. That's that like literally.
It's
If I was
flashy when you're young too, especially. Yeah.
yeah, I just wanted to have fun. Like I didn't even care the money. I could be broke, but if you
Yeah.
told me I could do that somehow, I'm like, I'm all in, brother. I'm
I
all in.
get it. I get it.
I'm all in. But
Yeah.
so I kept figuring out. Then I remember I stopped into like things like affiliate marketing and all these different things.
Yep.
And I
Been
tried it.
there.
With, and I was trying to figure out like all these things took money and then more money, and then
Yeah.
I got
Helium-10 and get this and do
yeah,
research and see which
yeah,
offer is best selling. Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got like trying to figure out different offers, and then again and again more like Like
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has gone on as many webinars as I have.
Yeah. Yeah. I know,
By the end of
man.
it, I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, here comes this help. Yup, I was right. And then I would be
You see
disappointed.
the
And
pattern. Yeah. Eventually.
yeah,
Yeah.
I started understanding all this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what is going on? Like, I'm like, it's a scam, but I didn't want to be. I'm like, what is this? Like, I just didn't understand
Sure.
it. I was frustrated.
So what happened after? Like, what was the next thing you got into after dropshipping?
It's tough because I was like on and off with drop shipping. Like, I even created like I have like
Were
I
you
think I'm
making money? Were you like getting sales?
no.
You were making it work. You're like, okay, let me put in the money into this ad. Okay, shit, didn't convert. Let me try this now.
Well, I
Let me
only
try
did
this.
like I got scared. I did like one ad. It was very shitty, and then I
Okay.
stopped. Like I
Then what
don't.
did you do after that?
Then after that, I was just like kind of like stop a little bit, and I just like focus on my friends and hang out. But that was on and off. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But then eventually, it was just like I just didn't want to hang out with my friends. I was just like, I want to figure this out, right?
Right.
And my friends wanted to do this. They didn't even understand this.
Didn't give a
But
fuck. They wanted to play their
I'm
Call
a
of Duty.
very social person. Like I care more about like having fun with my friends and making money
I
at
get
that point.
it. I get
So
it.
like a lot of times I would just like I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll just put this off for now. I just want to have fun now. Enjoy high school, go to parties, have fun. Like
Of
I was just
course.
living in the moment. I wasn't even thinking about the future.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm like, it'll just go. Something good will happen to me, right? That's
Yeah.
my and then eventually, I tried my own like clothing in high school. I actually sold to a couple friends, right? Um, I had
You
it's
started
called
your own clothing line?
yeah, it's called Greater Better.
Oh yeah. That's
It
interesting.
had like a butterfly on the bag and it said GB. It's
Okay.
Greater
What
Better,
did you
right?
sell? What did you sell exactly?
Just like merch, it's like hoodies and shirts. It was like Greater Better for a Greater Better you. That was like my thing. Yeah, and it was like I had like this different designs, I had the website, everything. So I understood how like build websites and stuff, but then I still was stuck on the part like, okay, how do I then promote this? So yeah, made a couple sales from my friends and like other people, but that's it. And then I didn't really take that anywhere because I was struggling. I didn't understand. Um, so I was like very on and off. I think one time there was
Yeah. I'm
uh,
here.
with one friend, he was kind of like at the same wavelength as me, and we kind of try to do something together. And there was we made a sale. I remember we made like a sale or two with this one dropshipping product.
Well, what did you guys find for the
It
product?
was this meat thrower, like for like like the frozen meat, and it was like he was really good at like editing, so he made the video and everything, and I made up the website, and it
Nice.
worked. But then after that, I didn't really have money or whatever, so like
Was
we
a
just
meat filler? What do you mean meat
oh, it's like
filler?
meat thrower, like it makes it like it like defrosts like meat
Oh,
the
oh, oh, okay, okay, okay.
that was
Got
like
you.
the spray, whatever. It worked. We get like a
Right,
seller to it. But then after that, I just didn't know how to scale or like,
right.
what I'm saying? Like, I was scared to put in
So
money.
you simply connected like whatever your supplier to your Shopify store, and then when the sale gets happens, supplier automatically ships it to them, right? That's the setup you had.
Yeah, well, yeah, just like drop shipping. Like, we had some supplier that I found because even though I wasn't like, really making money with drop shipping, I was still watching all these videos on like, oh, how to find a supplier, how to find a winning product, all these
Of
things that you would
course.
yeah, all these things that you would look if you were into like drop shipping. So I would
Yeah.
like obsess over it. So I knew everything. I just didn't have the money or understood like, okay, this is how you put money to it so you can make money. Like to me, it just looked like a gamble. Like you just like
Right.
magically get lucky, and if you make money, you do. If not, you're fucked. So I was like,
There's a method to the madness. There's a
yeah, right,
method. That's what
right.
you're learning, right? Yeah.
I had no idea. I was scared. So I just kind of like stopped that. And then a lot of times I would just get distracted, go back to playing with my friends, play video games. I love video games, but not just for like feeling good. Like I would love to play competitive.
Dude, that's how I was too at 16, right? Like, bro, I was playing competitive fucking Call of Duty at that time, bro. I was playing.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, I think I'm a little bit older, so like I was playing Modern Warfare 2, right? I was playing competitive Modern Warfare 2. Then I played Black Ops 2 competitive, bro. I had the fucking Astro A40 headset, bro, for the sound whoring. I had the Control Freaks. I had the Scuff controllers, bro. I was in like game battles, tournaments, and shit. So like I feel you on that, like when you have a personality type that's like this, it's wired to like it's extreme. It wants to be the best at what it does. Like you become obsessed, and like the greatest people on this earth, bro, have been people that have been obsessed,
Yeah.
with whatever it is they do. And it's really interesting because I mean, earlier on, as we're 16, 17, I mean, 15, whatever, you're in your teenage years, you're singing video games, right? For me, it was in boxing, competitive boxing, as well as video games, as well as other things, right? And then obviously socializing, a big part of it. I think a big part of, what inspires us as men to really be better is the desire to get beautiful women, right? Like to get attract like, hot girls. So like that in itself, like, was the transition phase for me where I went from like playing video games to like saying, wow, how can I make myself an attractive man where I can attract beautiful women, right? And that became the focus at some point. And so what that led me as well was this journey of personal development. But like what I love about what you're saying, Felipe, is like the obsession that you had with whatever it is that you were doing, right? So like you just can't stop learning about that thing. And I think it's, one thing I learned is like when you know enough about anything, like it is no longer a problem. So like if you're experiencing problems around a specific subject, it's simply because you don't know enough about that subject. So it's all about learning more, experiencing more, growing more, and the path of social dynamics was that for me, and I can get into that later. But like really the main thing that is really key here, I find, is like this obsessive desire to be great and to really fucking know everything you can about the thing it is that you do. So like it's for you, it started off with drop shipping. You had like maybe one or two sales at some point,
Yeah.
and then what happened after that?
Well, I just kind of stopped. I just kind of like focused on having, because like I mean I was popular in high school, so I had a lot of friends. So to me, I was just like, I'm still like living the life, right? So for me, like funny enough, like I struggle with nutrition. So I never really, I thought I kind of was hitting the gym a little bit. I wasn't really, I was kind of doing my own thing.
Yeah,
I was really like eating properly, whatever, which I never really care about like, putting a bunch of muscle or any of that. Cause I mean, I was popular, I was very outgoing. So I never really had problem with girls. Like I never thought,
sure.
oh, maybe if I make more money or if I look better, I'll get more girls. Cause I was sad. I was having some girls. I was
When was your first girlfriend? Did you get it like in your teenage years, like 14,
Oh,
16?
I had, my mom can back this up. I've had girlfriends since back in Colombia, like second grade, which I
Oh
mean,
yeah, these
arguably,
Libyan
can you
bitches.
count that or not? But like, I was like, like
I get it.
girls like me, had crushes, like a lot of girl crushes. I mean, I kissed a girl I made out with a girl like second grade back in Colombia. Uh,
Damn.
yeah, no, I've had
Okay.
girlfriends, right? Like I
Yeah.
literally like Facebook messages to this, like I can literally go back to our chats and you can see me like flirting with this girl, saying a bunch of shit. I'm like, what the? I've looked back,
Nice.
it's hilarious, right?
Okay.
So I've never had problems with girls, like literally. So like I was never really focused on
You
that,
were
right?
super social, talkative, you're
I just care about
driven.
having friends and what's the fun thing to do. That was my
Yeah,
mind.
I
Like
get it.
what's fun? Like I literally just wanted to have fun. And then eventually though, once I got into like the whole rabbit hole of like making money, which I just wanted more money so I could have more fun and be free, because I
Yeah.
didn't understand this whole college thing. Then like I got separated from a lot of people. I guess you could say going my own way. I'm not as popular anymore. You kind of go your own way from everybody else. I still have a
Of
lot of friends
course.
who know them.
Of
Um,
course.
but then of course, then I get into this rabbit hole of making money and isolation and trying to figure out, which I don't mind being alone. You know what I'm saying? I've had a lot of friends and whatnot. I know I can make friends wherever I go. I mean, I came to a whole country, they know English, and I made a bunch of friends in school without
Yeah.
barely knowing any English. So to me, I was like, wherever I go, I'll make friends. Like that was a belief I have in me. I'm like, I don't care. I'll make friends anytime, anywhere. I just want to figure this out first. But then eventually, as I'm going through whatever, and everyone's growing, looking better, and adapting to the adult world, more like real world. I am noticing that like okay, like it's getting a little bit harder to like maybe like get girls. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on, right? And
Hmm.
that's kind of what like lead me to like learning game and stuff. Because I was just like,
Yeah.
wait, what's going on here? Like what has changed?
Yeah.
I haven't changed. I was like, what's going on, right?
How old were you then?
It was like towards like junior, senior year of high school. So it would have been like
18,
17,
17?
18, right? Yep.
Yeah.
So that's when I like something started, like I could see the reality changing. And I would just say just things just get more competitive, right? People, everyone's leveling up in sort of way, maybe not financial, but
Yeah.
everyone's in my high school. I'm still like skinny, short guy. So I'm just like, things are changing. Girls are getting
Yeah.
attracted to older guys and stuff like that. I mean, I still got a couple girls who are talking to me, but like I was used to like getting a lot more attention from girls.
Yeah. Because it was just like it was easy. I was in
Yeah,
school,
so
you
like
were social, you were
that like
talking to girls in
messed me up.
class.
That really messed me up. So that's when I started watching like, and a lot of people know this, like
Yeah.
this, like RC and Owen and watching like
Yeah.
the OG videos. Like that was back in like the
Yeah.
Celtics.
That's when you got into pickup at that point, right?
Yeah, but then I was like that
Yeah.
really messed me up though, because like I was like you could say like natural because I've talked to girls. So
Yep.
I started watching like all these RSD videos and they're talking about all these techniques and stuff, and that messed me up because I was like,
It wasn't working for you, you were saying.
yeah, because like
It didn't work for you. Interesting.
I was
Okay.
watching them and then I was like, oh, you have to do this and this, and I was just like, it just seemed so complicated. I'm like,
Yeah.
since when? Like I went this like loop and like paradox.
Interesting.
And when has this been this difficult? I need to learn all of this. And I'm like, have I not been doing this? Like, and so like messed me up, and I tried doing this, and like it kind of
Right.
with my confidence. And I was like, it really messed me up. But I kept watching and obsessed over it because I just the things that he was saying, and like these balding ginger getting girls, and I'm just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Um, and I also want to make money, so I'm like, my focus had split. Like I'm trying to like make money and figure all this out, but I'm also trying to have fun, socialize, but at the same time, I'm also trying to improve how I'm good with girls because that's like I've always just wanted to do that. I just love being desired by girls, right? That's just
100%. Who doesn't? As a fucking man, who doesn't,
right. Like
right?
you love that. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of
So
course.
that
Of
changed for
course.
me. I was just like, whoa, what's going on? Like that messed me up
Were you
mentally.
were you a virgin at 17, 18?
No.
You already probably lost your virginity
I,
like
I
what, like
lost it. I lost it at like 17.
at
Wait,
seven,
17, 18. Yeah.
17, 18. So right around that time, but it also began to get more difficult at the same
Yeah,
time.
it was just weird. And like
Right.
yeah, it was just weird, but I started understanding like this whole emotional thing, how to not be needy and
Yeah.
stuff. Like in
Yeah.
junior
Yeah. Yeah.
high, I'm not gonna lie. Like for example, in junior high, I was getting girls, but I was oh my goodness, I wish I knew. But like I could have had so much girls if I wasn't as like I guess you could say
Yeah.
like needy or like. So
Bro, put me back in high school.
I was this
Game
lover boy. You know what
over.
I'm saying
It's game
where
over. Put me back in
I
high
was
school.
like
Yeah.
whenever I
Yeah.
get those like interest from like girls would get interested in me. I would turn off a lot of them, which I didn't
Yeah.
notice by
Yeah.
like being too much up front because I would be like, "You're the most beautiful," and I would try to say like the best,
Yeah.
like I want to be with you and this and like I want to give you
Yeah.
the world. And, like I would say these things, and now looking back at it, I was
Because
like,
that's
oh,
how we were conditioned to be, bro. That's how the society taught us. Oh, here's how you get girls. Just like shower her with compliments, shower her with gifts, tell her how important she is, all this
yes,
shit, right? That's not
yes,
how you get girls, though, you know? And
it's
that's what I
bad.
had to learn
And
as
I didn't
well.
understand that. That's why it messed me
They
up
don't
too.
get
'Cause
that shit.
I'm
I
watching
get
y'all,
it.
and I'm like, what is going on? And then I would have like really high
Yeah.
like girls that were friends that I want to date, but they didn't want me, and I don't understand it because I was really funny. They said they wanted someone, but I would always making them laugh and all of this, and they would always love hanging out with me. They would invite me to things, but they weren't like into me. So that was just
Yeah.
like, what's going on here? But I mean,
Yeah.
I was because of that. Funny enough, I understood this because I was hanging out with these hot girls. Though all the girls would then get interested in me. Because in their perception, they think that like a lot of girls would tell me, like, weren't you dating that girl? I was like, no, we were just friends.
Yeah. But
So
they
like
they see you
that,
with that girl,
right.
automatically get attraction, number
So,
one
so
attraction switch.
funny enough, like
Yeah.
wasn't even aware of this. Funny enough,
Yeah.
that was even though I was struggling, that also was getting me girls without me knowing. But like it wasn't, I was still wasn't feeling good about it. I was like, what the hell? And
Yeah.
I didn't understand this. But then eventually I started understanding, and I got into like red pill, and I had that red pill phase where I was like, oh, what? And I was like, what? Like understanding female nature. I'm like, what the hell? Like
Yeah.
about love, because I was always just wanting like, you want as a man, you want a woman to love you the same way you love her. And it's just like I went
You
through a lot of
begin to
heartbreak.
see more and more of the reality
Yeah,
of
yeah,
things. Objective truth is really what it is. Because we're brought up thinking it's subjective truth. Everything is subjective. No, motherfucker, there's objective truth as well.
yeah,
And objective truth is what, frankly, the way you can define it very easily is what more than one person can agree happened. Like two or more people say, okay, this pen just fell. Okay, you can't argue against gravity fucking happening. Okay, like you have to be delusional. Like, it just doesn't work. You can't
right,
argue against that. That's a fact, right? And that's when I realized the objective truths in the world, and it made a lot of sense, and I saw how it's a universe of cause and effect. For every effect, there's a cause. For every cause, there's an effect. And I really resonate with your story, Felipe, because like my story was very similar in that same way, right? Like I didn't have as much whatever, like earlier on, like in middle school and in elementary
right,
school, I was like good with girls. And then it's like at some point, middle school, high school, I got more socially anxious at some point, probably.
right,
And I was just focused on fighting and all this stuff. But long story short, at some point, I was like, man, I gotta master this fucking thing, which is, this art of being social, this art of being charismatic and attracting beautiful women. And that's what I wanted. And so I did the thing which I feared most. And I was very socially anxious for some whatever fucking reason. I thought I was an introvert, right? And I started doing a thing which I feared most, which was talking to people, and I did it over and over and over again, right? It started off in my little suburban fucking town of Oakville, and I was like, man, like everybody kind of knows each other or whatever. It's kind of weird. Like you approach a girl, it's like it ends up knowing this other guy that you know from school. It's just weird as
yeah,
fuck, right? So I would go to downtown Toronto and I would practice approaching women because that is the thing which I feared most, right? As well as obviously being social in general, right? I was also an immigrant. I came here when I was like 7, but I would always go back to my home country, Iran. I would visit, come back and forth, right? But then, through simply doing this thing which I feared most, which was talking to people, approaching my fear, approaching that thing which gave me some, like all this anxiety and overcoming it and saying, holy shit, I'm actually social. I'm actually not introverted. I'm actually, even though my nature, I'm totally good being on my by myself. I prefer it if anything. But I also, through the skill set I developed through approaching people over and over again. And then that got me into game too. And then it was me and my buddy Nick. Me and my buddy Nick met Justin. Me and Justin became lifelong brothers. And then 10 years after that, we would go out together every single fucking day at some point. Like, I mean, early this for me, it started late high school, and then I wanted to achieve all the things I didn't feel or experience in high school and university the first semester I went. So I got the skill set in game, and I achieved it through simply talking to women, right? And for me, it's very progressive, right? I'm not getting into details, but it was simply through learning how to talk to people and have great conversation and make people feel good and make women feel emotions. That's when I began to also understand female nature more through simply speaking to so many women and dealing with so many women. And, long story short, went to university, did all the things that, became like, I was with two natural roommates. One was like more of the drug dealer archetype. The other one was more like a frat boy archetype. Both naturals, both getting girls, but two different types of guys, right? But we all got along. And I was there too. I was the guy that was like really practicing game. These guys didn't know game. These guys didn't study social dynamics. They all kind of like had it, right? And so it was a very interesting dynamic where our fucking residents became the top party residents, and everybody was messaging, "Hey, when's your next party happening?" It was like Project X, bro. We had to write an essay to like fucking why we shouldn't get kicked out of the fucking residence because the cops got called in so many times. But it was wild, and I definitely achieved what I wanted to achieve, and then that's when I lost my virginity as well. I was like 17, turning 18, right? And then after that, as soon as the virginity was lost, it was like one after another, like sexual experience, like all these different women that I got to, be with and experience with, right? Build relationships with. And then after that, bro, over the span of 10 years, like six different intimate relationships, 4 years, 2 years, 3 years, and just really, my whole thing became like me making my greatest weakness my greatest strength. And then, of course, I also realized the university system's bullshit, so I dropped out. I was like, what the fuck is this? That's not leading me anywhere. I got into sales, started door knocking, field sales, then cold calling, then business development, then corporate business development, then account executive closing roles, right? So like, but it was if I didn't go on this path of self-development, if I didn't go on this path of wanting to improve and wanting to get the things that I know I deserve to have, which is hot girls, which is money, which is, a life of peak experiences where by the end of it, I can tell myself, hey, I left no stone unturned and I did everything I wanted to do in this life. Like that's where it began. And I mean, the greatest driving factor, frankly, for many men is sex, right? It's like when you're a fucking loser and you're not getting any bitches, like, learn how to talk to women, and that's what me and Justin, provide. And that's what me and Justin do together. That's our partnership, that's our brotherhood, and that's how we, once we got really good, we started coaching other guys. Justin's been doing it for a long time. We collaborated several times, and now, we have this inner circle brotherhood. We have boot camps. We have all these things that we do to help men overcome social anxiety, build character. Because at the end of the day, becoming attractive to women, it's a character development process, right? You're building your fucking character. It's not just learning to talk to women, which is what every guy in game thinks is always just that. No, motherfucker, you have to have your career on point. And that's what I find interesting about your story, Felipe, is like you started off with like business and then you kind of got into game after. For me, it was like game, then I got into business, then I got into like all the different aspects of it. And game, pickup actually got me into meditation. And meditation was connected me to spirituality. I was like, fuck, there's much more to reality than I think there is. And I began to improve myself on all these different levels as a man, which is health, wealth, relationships, spirituality. And that this path of self-development is really the basis of what we're doing here with the evolutionary instinct. Evolutionary instinct as a whole is realizing that there is no fucking limit. Like it's like you like that was the beginning for me, and then I just kept pushing it to greater and greater extents. And that's what we're sharing here now with you guys, right? And so I love hearing that, man. And so, like, with you, you got into red pill, right? You began to see female nature the same way I saw it over the years. And, evolutionary psychology, evolutionary biology was a big piece of it. Several mentors that I had, which, were incredible at what they did. Mystery was one of them. Another one of my mentors, AZD, fantastic mentor that I had, taught me a lot about mindset and communication. Another one of my mentors, Frank White, taught me a lot about mindset, communication, meditation, and so much more. Of course, several mentors that are no longer living, like Osho, like fucking Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, all these great men that came before us, right? Their writings are in books, and you can like download that information in your head. So if you're not learning and growing, what are you fucking doing as a man, right? So like I would love to hear more of like how did that like journey continue for you? So they got into red pill, and then where did it go after that?
Man, after Red Pill, I just started like really trying to find just the truth of like everything. You know what I'm saying? And that really like try not to get in the way of my friends and stuff like that. Cause like you find all of this and you want to share with your friends, but your friends like I remember I had multiple friend groups, but
Yeah.
some of my best friends groups like I would try to share this and like no that's stupid or whatever like they just
They
deemed
just don't
believe
get it, bro. They're
some
sheep.
some nonsense that I'm just speaking off like I was like what like, how can you not see the truth like it would hurt me so I just wouldn't bring it up. I'm like whatever, I'm just gonna this is just gonna be a relationship for fun and whatever. If you want to grow with me, then you can. And a lot of times, like, dude, I think I spent a lot of time and I wasted a lot of my time, unfortunately, um, trying to help a lot of friends, like, cause like me, besides just like trying to like make money with business, I didn't want to just do it alone. I wanted to
Yeah.
have something with me. So I know a lot of times I would spend times with friends or like trying to convince them or trying to like show them like, look at this cool thing. Look at this amazing thing we can do. We can make so much money or this and this. And then they're like, they weren't that into it. And it's like, and then I would just get kind of go along with them. I'm like, I mean, I still believe it, but I would just kind of like, whatever. They said, and I would just stick around with them just because I wanted to have fun and as my friends and whatever, and be able to have a social life. So
Can
I
I
decided,
actually share something with you on that note, exact
yeah,
note right there? Because I truly believe in that. And I think when you start really going after your full potential, you're gonna have to leave a lot of people behind that just don't see the world the same way you do. And one of my mentors, shout out to AZD, on a one-on-one call, he gave me this visual of us, of me being this almost like, and this is me like as a 19-year-old, like going to a man who's got the things that I want and want to learn, right? And he kind of like gave this reading, and it was so accurate, it was so interesting, and it's a very valid teaching, directly related to what you were saying. And I'll keep it very short. He said basically, um, it was a visual that he gave of an animal analogy. You're like this white wolf walking alone at night, right? And this giant white wolf, right? And he was recognizing, he was like, I guess acknowledging kind of like the leadership qualities and certain people that you see, this person is, for example, like the mature masculine archetypes, for example, like king, magician, warrior, what is it? King, magician, lover, warrior, magician, king, lover, something like that, right? And every man is either like has more. All four are active, right? But one man is more of a leader, right? Likes to lead and manage people. The other person is more of a warrior, just likes to get head to the fucking nose to the grindstone, get shit done. Other person is more technical and more analytical, right? And the other person is more of a lover and more playful and fun and expressive and creative, right? We have all those parts in us, but some people have more. So for me, it was more of the king part, which is more of the leadership. He was acknowledging, and he said, "You're this white wolf, this giant white wolf, alone not alone, but at night in the snow, walking, and there's the moon in the sky, right? And there's a bunch of other wolves behind you, and these other wolves are different colors. They're black, they're gray, there's all these different colors of wolves, but they're all following you and they're going. And it's a slow walk. It's a gradual walk in the snow. It's cold. It's not comfortable. But these other wolves are following you because the white wolf represents the purity, the kindness, the goodness that's there, right? And they're trusting your goodness and your instinct. And then this white wolf is driven and it's guided by its own instinct and sense of whatever, this sense of goodness perhaps, or its own instinct, and the moon. And the moon is bright and shining, and that moon represents esoteric knowledge, which is something that I was always drawn to. And it's utilizing that, it's the guidance that you get from there to move forward even more effectively. So this white wolf is walking, and so the teaching was like you're a leader, and this is kind of what you are. Now, the second teaching from that was the teaching of the pact, which is what I was going to tell you with what you were saying, which is in life, as we start, whatever, improving, certain people are going to have to leave behind. But for me, at that time, when I was like 19, I'm 28 now, and when I was 19, I had all these different friends that I knew from high school, that I knew from all these different places, and I love all of them, right? But they just don't see the world the same way I do. A lot of them didn't, and they're living the lives they live, and more power to them. But at that time, my teacher told me, he was like, what you're like right now is it's like a bunch of different animals in the animal kingdom just coming together, hanging out, just coming together and then just going their own ways. It's like the giraffe, the elephant, the fucking wolf, the squirrel, the fox, right? They're all coming together and they're all going their own direction. And the teaching was you must find your pack. You must find and create your tribe. That was the teaching. You see, so find other brothers, find other men, women, whatever, that are like-minded, and build a pack with them, or a tribe with them, or a gang with them, or a unit with them. And that teaching really resonated with me because I had other friends that were very much like-minded, and when I surrounded myself with those individuals, my life got better significantly. And those people, we ended up like really supporting each other, growing, collaborating, and making a shit ton of money and growing together. So, when you surround yourself with like-minded people that share the similar values as you, other wolves, that was the teaching, right? If you're a wolf, find other wolves, not a bunch of fucking random animals, but
Yep.
find other wolves that share those things and fucking hunt with them, and that changed everything for me. And I think that's something that everybody needs to know is find your pack, find your spiritual brothers, find your fucking allies that are on the same mission or journey as you, and your life is going to get so much better because you're going to support each other along the journey. So yeah, it really reminded me of that as you were speaking, Felipe.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people nowadays, like, they figure this out and like I said, they want to share this with their friend or whatever. And like their friends are like, yeah, they just want to do something else. And or they don't see it because your friends, maybe they just have limited beliefs. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, that's just what it is. And
every
honestly,
person's on their own journey, right?
and what I've found is like the best way if you really want to help them and want them to inspire to move is like focus on you. It's like
Yeah,
the best gift to them you can give them is show them. Don't just tell them, just show them. This is
100%.
your talk with love. Doesn't have to be like, yo, fuck you, bro. You don't want to do this with me. Like, no, like it's whatever. Like, love them for the person that they are. Enjoy them in the moment for having fun. They're still a person in their journey. Maybe they have their own limited beliefs. They've gone through
Yeah,
whatever. Right? Like accept them as your brother, is whatever. They're just in a different journey than you are. You just gotta accept them. It's gonna hurt a little bit, let them go, but you know, they will see it in time. If they're truly your friend, they will see that you're prioritizing yourself and they will love you for it and they will understand in due time, especially when they see you shine. They're gonna look back and like, oh wow. And then they're gonna ask you, how did you do it? Right?
100%.
And then it's up to you. Like, do you want to offer them a hand? Do you want to like maybe just show it to them, guide them? Which I generally think like you can't help somebody unless they really are asking for it or they pay you
Yeah,
for it. Because
100%.
literally, like I've tried to help so many friends for free. Like I'm like, dude, I've spent
They're
probably
not
over
gonna value it. They're not gonna
yeah,
value
I've
it.
spent over
Yeah,
10K in programs or whatnot. So many times I've had a friend or what I'm like, hey bro, if you want to come over, we can watch this together, or you can have access to the
yeah,
program for free.
yeah,
They don't do anything about it. They don't take any action. They don't care about it.
100%.
They don't
Yeah.
believe it. It's like some nonsense scam that I just bought or something.
And you can't force them into seeing it. It's like,
Right,
bro, like,
right.
listen, I'm making money. Here it is, right? And like, the only way to convince them is to prove through your own successes, right? I think what happens where maybe when we're younger, it's like, wow, like I'm starting this thing. I haven't achieved success yet, but man, I believe in this thing, right? It's like, okay, whatever you say, right? And then all of
Yeah.
a sudden you start making it. It's like, oh shit, now it's for them, it might be too late. Like Bitcoin, for example. Oh, if you were invested earlier, boom, you would have profited. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not a Bitcoin expert. I'm just saying, right? That's like, it's there's a time to get in. It's like now it's like too late. Okay, look for your next opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, like again, by no means am I a Bitcoin expert. I'm not a fucking investor in Bitcoin, but I had a lot of friends that severely profited from Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I was investing my time in elsewhere because I didn't see it as much. And I'm like, wow, okay, if I did that, that would have been great, right? So either way, going back to what you were saying, it's like either they see it or they don't. And if they see it, great, you ended up being allies. But if they don't, they don't. And and it also goes to a greater extent of like just mindset and thinking. Like, some guys are just happy playing video games, smoking weed, going to the fucking bar every Friday, Saturday, watching sports, like eating fucking nachos and like really not having anything to do with improving their lives, right? Like, I can't be around people like that are not self-development oriented, that are completely happy just like wasting their time. I'm like, bro, like I love you guys, but like, I was visiting many months ago. I visited some of my friends and people that I used to know, and I don't hang out with them anymore, but like they're just so happy being average and just talking about their average lives. And again, this might sound arrogant, but I like to be around other driven individuals and I like to feel inspired by the people I'm around. And my friends now in downtown Toronto are all guys that are extremely driven, that are all experts in their field. One guy's a fucking, owns a multi-million dollar marketing agency. The other guy's an expert entrepreneur when it comes to fitness. The other guy's a fucking killer in sales. The guys that, like, every person. The other guy's a dentist. The other guy's a lawyer. You know what I mean? They're all killers in their own field. But like when we come together, we celebrate. But we all share value with each other, and we have great value exchange. And those are the people that I want to keep around close to me, right? And so yeah, man, like I think, like, life will significantly get better when we surround ourselves with other people that see the world the same way we do, or similar values as we do, and are also driven. Because what's that classic saying, bro? You become the average of the five people you hang around with, right? So it's so key, bro. You know what I mean? To
Yes.
fucking success.
Like on that note, like for example, I just had a roommate move in,
Yeah.
like a friend, really good friend of me, like
Yeah.
a brother. He just moved in with me, because he wanted me to help him and teach him how to make money online and all these things in this world. And I was like, okay, well, I don't, I'm not gonna put in on, because I've tried it before, whatever. I'm not, no. If you want
Yeah.
this, you gotta be the one who's gotta put yourself in a position where you can learn from me. So
Exactly.
from hey, if you want, you can move in with me,
Yeah.
right? And then you can, kind of like see how I work, ask me questions. It'll be a lot more convenient for me, and we can help each other out that way,
Yeah.
right? He kind of helps me with rent, which is not a big deal, but
Person has to want it, and they have to
right?
really like
Right. So
desire it and be
that's just
there.
an
Yeah.
action. The fact that he moved
Yeah.
in with me shows me that he wants it and he's serious about it. So I'm like, okay, I like that. So he moved in, and
Nice.
just being around me, he tells me like socially he's a lot better. He talks to a lot more
Fuck
people.
yeah. Yeah.
He's doing a lot better. You can see he's literally wanting to start like making content. He's getting very, very inspired because he's
Nice.
sleeping, and he's like shit. It like wakes him up from like
Yeah.
this complacency that a lot of people get. And
Absolutely.
he actually has like he's like 6'4", curly eyes, blue eyes, like he's like a unicorn, okay? But he still lacks confidence, right? And he goes to the gym, jacked, right? But
I know
still,
so many guys like that. Yeah.
right? And that's why he looks up to me, because I'm confident, right? I'm out
Yes.
here, my own. I said I wanted to do this. I did it. I have an online business. I'm sure
Fuck
about
yeah.
me being successful with the girls, right? So he sees
Yeah.
me as a leader. And so to me, I also like having him around helps me, because like I don't just want to be lazy, and like even though I made a bunch of money,
It's not
I
just
don't just
about you, it's about others
I
too.
could just sit down and be like, ah, cool. But like
Yeah.
to me, I feel bad. It's not even just about me, because I'm like, me being
Yeah.
lazy, not going after greater things. Like, what kind of example am I being to my friend? Like,
Exactly.
like I'm supposed to be a leader, a friend who can trust. What am I doing? Just being lazy? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, no, I want to be a leader that you can follow and understand and be a friend. Like, oh yeah, this guy got it. Like, I don't want to get complacent. A lot of guys get complacent. Which funny enough, like this guy, that I talked to one time, he has so much potential. There's so many guys, friends that I've had that have so much potential. And I tell them like, why don't you do this? And just like, no, I'm just fine how I am. Because maybe they have a girlfriend, they're getting dick sucks. They're just happy with what they have.
Happy and
And yeah,
average and
they're just so
comfortable.
complacent,
Yeah,
so
I hate that,
complacent.
bro. I know.
And
I
I'm
know.
just like, you
Yeah.
don't want more? Like, no, I'm like, what? I just can't stand it.
Where's your ambition? Like, you're happy with your bi-weekly
That's the problem with guys
salary and
nowadays.
your
They have
average life and no
zero
meaning?
ambition.
Yeah.
Zero ambition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just kind of want to feel good. I saw actually an image on Instagram or somewhere. It was like
Yeah.
a representation of the future, and it was like a guy with a VR headset, right? So he has VR. He has like food right next to him. It has like this like pocket pussy that moves for
Yeah.
him,
Yeah. Yeah.
connected to him. He's just like,
Yep. Derped
just like
out.
he's
Yeah.
fat and he's fat. I was like, damn, that's literally like a representation of guys nowadays, like an
Yeah.
exaggeration, but very much might
Dopamine
be real in
stimulation.
a couple
Yeah.
years. Very much could be
Yeah.
real. And I'm like,
Facts.
holy shit. You
Fucking
just
facts, bro.
want to feel
Yeah.
good. Like your biological drive just want to feel good. You're addicted. You're like little goblin. You're like the dude from the Lord of the Rings, like my precious, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you're like that guy. Because like it's crazy. People don't want to win. Like
Yeah.
one of my friends' buddies who he goes to the gym with, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He showed up here, and dude, he's pretty big. He does deadlifts. That's all he does. But all he does is flex, flex, flex. He
Yeah.
doesn't teach education. I'm like,
He's maxed out on health, but what about the other aspects of
yeah,
life?
but like
Relationship, money. Yeah.
I'm asking him. So like, what do you want to do? You're like, gonna make a business? Whether it's like, yeah, I want to be I want to coach people and whatever, right? I'm like, okay, why don't you start now? I can help. This is how you can do it, right? Because I've seen other people done it. I know people who have done it. I'm
Yeah,
like,
of
I have
course.
the blueprint for you. I have the
Yeah.
blueprint. I'll show you.
Yeah.
He's like, no. He makes excuses. He's like, no, I need my certification.
All
to
this
coach
shit.
people. I'm like, what are you talking? You don't need no certification. He's like, no, they
Yeah.
have but dude, you have the physique,
Yeah.
you're smart, clearly, you know something. You don't need a certification to coach. You don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of times what people care about is at least help them get out to the gym or accountability.
Let me
Just have
tell you a quick thing. Right in there, my buddy, he was like, "Oh, to be a personal trainer here in Canada, like take 3 years of college or 2 years of college, and then take this NASA certification, and then you can become a personal trainer." My buddy was like, "Fuck school. I'm just gonna study this shit." He studies it in a month, takes the certification, becomes the youngest personal trainer at the gym he was training in. Right? He was training guys in, right? He was 18 or fucking like 19 or something, bro. The young or 20 even, right? I don't fucking remember what age he was at the time, but like he was the youngest trainer, and they all freshly graduated from college. Meanwhile, he's like, "This is all bullshit. I'm just gonna take my personal training certification right now," which is in Canada, Ontario, whatever. It's just one test. They did it. They got certified, and he has a good physique, so people want to know how they have a good physique, and he became just like that. Versus making all these excuses and starting. And of course, I'm not talking bad on your friend by
right.
any means, but it's just a typical
No,
condition of the human being,
yeah. It's just like
making
all these
excuses.
excuses.
Yeah,
Get out of your own way. It's like
a
you don't need,
hundred
for
percent.
example, like if you have the physique and you know some, I mean, you have hopefully know some knowledge. You can always educate yourself. Like for
Facts.
example, telling my other buddy who wants
Yeah,
to like do the same, and he almost got that into your head. He was like, "I need a certificate." I was like, "No, what do you? No,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
Start now,
It's
dude.
limiting
You look
beliefs,
good.
bro.
You
Yeah,
look good. Just be a leader. Just put yourself out there, educate people, show them that you have the physique. They'll listen to you. Because some people out there, they're not looking for like, oh, get ripped. Like they just want to start to go to the gym. They're scared to go
straight
to the.
up.
They don't
They
understand
need help
like
with their mindset. They need help with the basic
they
regimen.
want some accountability, or they want
Yeah,
to understand like how to do their diet. My friend is like on point with his diet every time. He's like,
nice,
dude, he's like 4,500 calories up, but it's always on point. I'm like, dude, that's
nice.
something you can teach. You don't need a certification to teach them how to do that,
Exactly,
or teach them how to
exactly.
like do a certain movement that you
Yeah,
know how to do. Some people are just
exactly.
looking for that in a coach. You don't need a certification
You
to do
don't.
it's worthy. And then once you teach enough people and you get them results, you use that as your case studies. Look, fuck my certification. Look, I actually have real life results of people that have helped before. Now the
Testimonials.
it's just gonna
Yep.
snowball, and the more you help, the more people want to help from you. You know what I'm saying? You don't need a certification.
Facts, bro. Absolutely. There's so many online coaches, bro, that don't even have fucking certifications. They're just teaching what they know. And because they know how to create an offer, because they know how to be an example, like they know, hey, I have what you need. Come learn what I know. Here's what it costs to know what I know. So
Yeah,
fucking pay and let me help you get there. Right? And like
value. That's all. It's just help people. It's like get. It's like something
100%.
I've heard before. It's like
Yeah.
the recent. Okay, I heard this before from Owen Cook. Actually, it was I
Yeah.
really liked it. He said that the reason you're broke is because you're selfish. So being broke is the most selfish thing you can be because it means you're not thinking about anyone else.
I like that. I really like that actually. Yeah.
I was like, that is so true. That is so true. Because if you just started thinking about other people, you would think about, okay, how can I offer a solution or a value to help other people? And
Yeah.
what? You get paid from that. That's how you make money. But most people are
100%.
thinking, how can I feel good? How can I get this thing? How about how can I give? How can I position myself in a way that I can give value? Like when I put myself in a room, coming in any room, I'm like, okay, what can I do to give value? For
Yeah. How
example,
can I serve others? Yeah.
Luis, right? So
Yeah, of
Luis,
course. This is my
I do
brother. Yeah.
like the podcast
Fucking love Louise. Yeah.
to get some content in Vegas, right? I went to
Yeah.
Vegas. I was there. I went on this podcast. This guy had a nice studio. He has the lighting,
Nice.
and I'm like, it looks nice, right? This guy's
Yeah.
not
It's a
crazy podcast,
professional, bro. Yeah.
right? Yeah, like his podcast is not like super well known or whatever. But I'm like, it's great. Luis can use this at least for content, right? He can have extra content
It's all
with
about value exchange, right?
right. So I remember I
100%.
messaged him. I was like, hey, Luis, right? I was like, hey, Luis, I heard that because Justin told me, I heard you live in Vegas. And he was like, yeah. I was like, well, how would you like to come on a podcast, dude? And like create content. He was like, yeah, he loved it. And he thanked me. And now I'm closer to Luis. I offer value, right? Like I really
100%.
walked into that studio and I was saying like, oh, me. I was like, okay, who could need this? How can I leverage this situation to get around
Exactly.
someone who maybe is doing better? And that's how you network with people too.
100%.
It's like, what value do I have? How can I position myself in a way that I can offer value? That's how
Yeah.
I think about it, especially when I go out to a bar or club. It's not like, oh, I want people to make me feel good. Like this interaction is kind of like, no, I feel good and I'm gonna share it
100%.
with this person. Right?
Bro, you said so many good things there. Absolutely. I mean, from the perspective of value exchange, absolutely. Finding what people want, giving it to them, and coming with that in first versus just all about being me, right? And being broke too, that whole thing you
Yeah.
said, right? on being broke and how selfish it is to be broke. It's like I was just thinking about that. Like if you're broke and your parents aren't well off and your fucking little brother or siblings are suffering, right? And the people you care about are suffering, how the fuck are you content sitting there doing nothing?
I
You know what I
agree.
mean? Like, how the fuck, as a man, are you okay with your family, your parents not being well off right now? So, like, if you put away your selfishness, you realize I need to grind, I need to fucking hustle, I need to make money so I can make sure my family's okay, my loved ones are okay, and I'm doing the things that I'm here to do, right? There's no fucking time to sit around, jerk off, fucking play video games, right? I need to make something. I need to fucking do what I'm here to do. I need to bring value to the world. And the way you make money is you bring value, right? You fucking bring value to the world, and that's what people pay you fucking money for, right? And that's when like the
Yes.
entrepreneurs begin to see that really well, right? Like even my girlfriend, for example, right now, bro, like, I helped her really like scale her business. Like, before she was working at a beauty salon, right? I helped her
Yeah.
start her lash business, right? I helped her, create offers. She started a whole community similar to how, the community that me and Justin created. I was sharing, insights on how we, grew that and how we had a lot of success there, right? And long story short, she went from working at a beauty salon to starting her own business, bringing those services, those exact services that she would maybe pay like I think 40 or 60% to the salon, right? And she would only make half that money. Now she's making 100% of the money, right? She's creating content on social media every single day, on stories, on TikTok and Instagram Reels every single day, right? And I pushed her, and she's naturally good at it too. So like every day there's content, and what happens from there? Her following grows, right? Like two or three videos like popped off, like two of them got a million views, and they started getting featured in all these different Six Buds channels, and that's how her business really began to pick up, right? It was because like she just released content every day. All of a sudden she had one video. It's a very basic video. Hey, I'm a Toronto lash tech, I charge one price for all my lash tech, blah 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 blah. Like here's what I do, just like a cute girl talking, right? And then this video popped off, got like a million views, got posted like, bro, like all these random Toronto pages that are like service based, you know what I mean? Like every city has their little like Instagram pages, right? And then that resulted in her, bro, like basically getting a shit ton of bookings, getting booked like 2 months in advance, right? And that started her clientele just from one organic video, bro. Can you believe it?
On
And then
video.
from there, she went from like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 followers. Now she's around like 9,000 followers, 8,000, 9,000 followers, right? And then not only that, so that was her service base, right? So like in 2 hours, okay, here pay me like whatever, $200, whatever amount of dollars it is, right? 150, whatever, right? And get your service, right? Not only that, but because she got so good at what she was doing, because she's been doing it, and she's only what? She's 20, bro. Okay, she started this at 17. Okay, she's ahead of girls that have been in the beauty game
Uh,
for like 10
yeah.
years, bro. Why? Because I told her like, babe, fucking school's bullshit. You don't need that shit. Okay, start creating, start bringing value to the world, and she did do that, right? She got certified. She went to a mentor and learned that certification is really just a direct certification from a mentor you get, right? There's not like an official school system, but
Right.
like
Right.
you learn from someone who knows the thing, and that's what she did. She learned it, got really good at it, is a professional. She's very good at what she does, right? And then now, in a span where she's only 20 years old, she's an expert lash tech with a very unique style that very few people can pull off. And she's one of the top lash techs now in Toronto as 20 years old. And all the veterans, the girls that are like been in the game for a while, they're just like watching it, like, what the fuck? How did this girl make it? And how is she so consistent, right? And then she started to create trainings, and this is when the business really began to grow. Was when we created trainings teaching other girls how to do it, right? So she put together the offer, right? It's like in-person training, and then there's a community-based training as well where you can learn remote. And then those offers came together, and then now she's a full-time entrepreneur at 20 years old, you know. And thankfully, I never want my woman to ever be answering to any other person other than me or herself, right? And growing the business, right? And that's my suggestion to every other man. It's a mistake to have your woman work for another man, right? To work in a big organization, which has to answer to another man. Big fucking mistake, okay? You might think, I'm being extra here, but no, 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 no. There's a good reason why I say this. So I'm happy I don't have to deal with that, right? Now she's got her business, now she's got her trainings, and now she's doing well. And now you even like taught her appointment setters. Now she got one of her, over time she started training, and now she has like a whole community of other girls that want to learn how to do lashes, and they're all really good, or other girls that are doing it and want to be better, right? And so long story short, she started this community, and now she's even scaling it. Now it's like, okay, let's hire an appointment setter that's can, get us on these calls. And now one of our students became an appointment setter. Now they're growing the business significantly, and it's a very powerful thing happening. And And that's because you have to have the audacity to believe you can do it. And if you're good at what you do, the world will come to you. You don't need fucking 6 years of school. Just get really good at what you do. And she's an expert in her field. Other girls look up to her. Other girls that have had all these certifications, all this fucking school, and all this random shit that you don't need, right? And she got really, really good at what she does. And that applies to any other field as well, right? Any other field, if you're a programmer, whatever, like, Google and all these companies that I know, software developers are being hired, not necessarily for the degree they have, but for what they can achieve, for their portfolio, for their proven track record of success. And that's what people care about. That's why testimonials are so powerful, like you were saying yourself, Felipe,
Yep.
right? So all that matters is results. And that's what you need. And bring value to the world, people will pay you for it, right? No need to fucking sit around and make excuses.
Right.
Move.
Right.
That's the thing that school system fucks us up for. They keep telling us, "Oh, you need to do this first before you can do this." No, motherfucker. Start doing the main thing that
Yep.
you want to do and create results. The world will pay you for it.
Well, I
Right?
mean, like the school system is built to make you a worker, you know what I'm saying? Like prepare.
100%.
So it's like
Factory worker.
who you're setting up yourself with. I mean, I guess in a
I
way, I
get
mean,
it.
nothing wrong with being a worker, but it's like, is that really what you want to do? You know what I'm saying?
100%. If that is you, do that. That's what I always say. I was like, if you're a lion, hunt. If you're an eagle, fly. If you're a shark, swim. Do whatever it is that you do, right? Some people are great managers. Some people are great individual contributors.
Right.
Some people are great entrepreneurs. Some people are great artists. Whatever it is that you're good at, do that. Don't try to be. That's like you remember that quote? It was like the goldfish climbing a tree quote. Do you remember that quote?
Yep. Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? Fucking, I forgot what that quote was, but if you judge the
Yeah,
intelligence.
yeah, don't just the intelligence of the fish on how he climbs a tree.
Exactly, exactly. That's what the school system tries to do. It tries to make everybody climb a tree, but the fish is good at swimming, so let the fish be a fucking fish, the monkey be a
Right.
fucking monkey, right? That can climb a tree. So, just really important points to be mentioned here, and I feel people need to know that, right?
I'll drop some sauce here because I think
Yeah,
a lot of people, especially now with social media, right, it's an attention um economy, which is crazy to think about, right? Like
yeah,
before you needed money to make money. Now you need attention to make money. So like for
100%.
example, like drop shipping, something, oh my God, this would have been awesome. Back then when I first started, I would have been
Yeah,
like, right? Now people have the opportunity. This is why I think it's so easy to make money, but the mental part is the hard part because you could become addicted to all this dopamine, whatever, right?
yep,
But it's so easy because and there's other gurus who've done this, right? Where like you can literally find like say a product, right? You can now with organic, you can make a creative page, post valuable videos of that product,
yeah.
create a demand for that product,
Wow.
and then you can supply it. You don't even need it. You
You
create the
can
demand.
create, you can generate demand for a
Yes,
product that's
like
yeah,
this.
yeah,
Create a
yeah,
demand,
yeah,
and then you're like, you're gonna right, and then you can, you don't
yeah.
make a bunch of money. A lot of people are doing nowadays, or with affiliate marketing with TikTok, you can just help someone else, right? It's so easy nowadays, and
Yeah,
something I think a lot of people don't do, and I've seen this, right? I had
yeah,
a friend who like they love, for example, something big nowadays, like Twitch, right? They
yeah,
want to become a Twitch streamer. Everyone wants to play video games and
yeah,
have people watch them, but they're so lazy about it. Okay,
yeah,
what I see, they're and a lot of my friends and people in my Snapchat, like I see them like from high school back in us, they're like, come pop up my Switch. They don't promote. They're not smart about it. They don't understand the
no,
business or anything. This is all they do. They hop in the game, they start streaming, and they just think magically, somehow people are gonna show up, right? The same
yeah,
way people think
yeah,
magically once you start making X amount of money or look certain people are just magically gonna show up. No, you
yeah,
still have to put in the work. So like what
100%.
I would do, right? If anyone out here wants to be a streamer, right? Which hopefully eventually me and Aiden can do a little bit of streaming together. I
Fuck
see
yeah.
the
There's
future.
so many things we have in the works, guys, in the back end,
It's
and you
crazy.
guys will see more and more. It's just have episode 1 of the Evolutionary Instant
But
Podcast. You guys
here's
have
some
no
thoughts,
idea.
and we'll probably implement this as well. So like literally what I would do is I would just record videos, just like me and Aiden doing right now. Just record,
Yep.
start whatever you're doing, whatever you're passionate about. Maybe it's video game, okay. And trying to find, maybe you're not the best at video games, okay. Then see how if you're funny, use that as some sort of value. Some people are tired after work, whatever, want to relax, want to listen to someone and laugh. Maybe that's you, right? And they love watching you playing that game, and you're
Yeah.
funny and charismatic. Okay, then you can then create a bunch of then you can create a bunch of like content, post it, and once you start getting demand and traction, same way like I told you with the drop shipping, you create
Yeah.
that demand, then you can start on your Twitch, and then you have people who actually gonna come and watch you. And then from your streaming, then you create more clips and you build it up, build it up, build it up, build it up. You gotta create that demand. See
Yeah.
where the market's at, what's hot, where can you put yourself at so you can get some attention. You need some eyes on you somehow first, right? So you do that,
Absolutely.
and then all you do is position yourself right, and there you go. And it can be anything. It doesn't have to be video games, but I know that's something huge right now. You can do it
100%.
because nowadays, more than ever, things are getting very, very niche. Like before nowadays, it would be maybe a couple guys or maybe a couple singers like Michael Jackson. The reason he went so big is because not many things are very mainstream. But nowadays, because of social media,
Yeah.
there's like different rabbit holes, like different like very niche communities where you can make a lot of money and you can be known within that community and make a living out of just streaming and have a specific thing. And it's
Absolutely.
and people gravitate towards not just like the niche itself, but you as an individual, as your personality, as how you're presenting yourself, your laugh, the way you say something, your mannerisms.
What makes you authentic? The thing
That's
about you
like
in particular that
something
makes you
within your
unique.
niche.
Yep. That's what I tell my girl too, like I tell my girl, like, listen, like you might think like, I mean, for example, in her industry, every lash is like, oh, there's so many of them out there. How am I going to compete? Well, people come to you because they like you. They want to get their lashes done by you in particular. They
Exactly.
like the experience of being with you, talking to you, the care, the diligency, all the things that you put in, they want to come to you. For that reason, anybody can be successful. You just have to not let your own limiting beliefs get in the way, right?
Right. Right. You become one on one. There's no one like you. You're one out of one. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't compare yourself to others. You're just one out of one. There's literally no one
100%.
like you. That's like, for example, in business, a lot of guys, when it comes to like content, like when it comes to like business gurus, they try to imitate Iman Gadzhi, and
Yep.
they're gonna
Yep.
lose because no one can do Iman Gadzhi like Iman Gadzhi.
Totally.
Only Iman
Totally.
Gadzhi can do Iman Gadzhi. So what is you? Do you, and no one will outcompete you because you are on your own niche.
It's fucking facts, bro. No, it's very true.
Dude,
You
and I
have to
think
you have to create
yeah,
your own niche, yeah. And there's only one person that can do it the way you can. There's not a second version of you.
one of
There's not a
you, but you
copycat.
gotta learn how to be you and authentic and like tap into you. But a lot of people have like so many filters and stuff. They're confused. They don't even know who they are, how to tap into that raw confidence on
Facts.
let go and just be you. Which
Yeah.
it's also like talking about self-development and it's kind of like a paradox because like people are like, just be yourself. Like it's true, but at the same time, it's like a lot of people try to use that as an excuse. Like, this is just who I am. I'm a lazy piece of shit, or I'm just like the guy who does this. This is just who I am. It's like that's not you. Stop lying to yourself.
It's so foolish, bro. You know why? Because the only constant in the universe is change. You can never stay the same. You see? So you're either evolving or you're de-evolving. And that is the basis of the evolutionary instinct.
Oh,
Fucking philosophy is like the fact that like we're always evolving. We're evolving physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and we're on that path of evolution. Because that's really the only purpose I personally found to existence, Felipe. Like I was like searching. I was like fucking like what is the purpose of this thing? And I saw how deep it went, and it's not just like, every experience, every fucking challenge you get in life, that's going back to Stoicism. Amor fati is a saying that I live by, that I, go over with a lot of guys, is you embrace life's challenges because that is exactly what you need to go through to reach the next level of your evolution, to reach the next level of your growth as a man, right? So with that said, you got to embrace that shit, right? And going back, to a lot of what you were saying there, Felipe, um, I couldn't agree more. And I find that, having purpose as well is so key, right? Having a reason for why you're doing what you're doing
yes.
brings meaning to everything, right?
It makes things more fun. Like when you do things with a purpose, your God-given purpose, it's just fun. You actually feel fulfilled. You want to move. You see opportunities in front of you, right?
100%.
You didn't see before, and you feel free. You generally feel free. Like you lose this weight deep inside of you because you can actually see different options.
Yeah.
And honestly, the biggest problem you're gonna have is that you don't know what to say yes to, right? So many opportunities. You're like, wait, this one or this one.
Yeah.
You only want to focus on one. Of course, so much that you can do. That's
100%.
how you should be. You should be able to be a free spirit. That's how I've always been since I was a little kid. Like I would literally be outside. My mom would be yelling at me, trying to find me. Be like, Felipe, where are you? Because I was
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
a free spirit. I've
Free
always been
spirit. I love
one.
that.
I'll do whatever I want, have fun, be free, give value, make other people laugh. And now,
Experience life, learn, grow, all of
right?
it, bro.
Not be limited, like, oh, this thing, like get out of your own way. They
Yeah.
said this people have like this parasite inside of them telling them, like, no, this is nothing. This is how about you challenge yourself? And for once, just be like, you know what? I'm gonna choose to not believe what I just said to myself and try to see what, like, prove myself that there's more out there, right?
Absolutely.
Like, prove yourself,
Absolutely.
right? And I think this is gonna be, a great start to our podcast with these videos that we're making, you and Aiden.
100%.
We're gonna get really deep into each topic. Of course, we're barely scratching the
We're
surface here,
just
right?
touching it, like
Very
not
surface.
even.
We're gonna get very
100%.
deep on these videos, and I'm hoping that we're gonna help you guys here evolve into your true instinct that you have inside of you, so you can become the person that you want to become.
100%. And the only purpose to existence, guys, is evolution. Every life is an opportunity for you to grow your consciousness, learn, and when you put yourself into uncomfortable situations, that's the only way you grow. Diamonds are created under pressure, right? So fucking embrace it. If we can learn to find comfort in the uncomfortable, we're unstoppable. And with that said, fucking fantastic first episode, guys. And stay tuned for the next.
Peace.
All right, peace.